Good morning, everyone. We are gaveling in for our 9:30 a.m. agenda. Today is Wednesday, March 19th. We are in conference room 309, and we have a handful of resolutions that we're going to go through today, so we'll just jump right into it. We're going to start off with, we're going to take them in tandem. So HR 90, HCR 94, requesting the governor to issue a proclamation designating Hawaii as a Purple Heart State on August 7th, 2025. I'm sorry, we have to take a brief recess. Okay, first up to testify, we have an individual in support, Tevita Tuale. And that is all I have on the testifiers list, but I don't think he's present. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on this measure? Okay, seeing none, there's no one to ask questions of either, so we're going to move on to the next measure. HR 123, HCR 127, urging the state to acquire the Hawaii Theater to promote local culture and art, preserve its historic and cultural significance, and facilitate its continued public use. Up first, we have Gregory Dunn with the Hawaii Theater.
Aloha, Chair and Vice Chair. My name is Gregory Dunn. I'm the President and CEO of the Hawaii Theater Center. I stand on my testimony that was submitted electronically, but I'm here to answer any questions if you like. I think it's important to note that this is a great opportunity for the state to step in and assist with the problems that we're having with property insurance costs that are affecting everyone, and that could adversely affect the long-term viability of the theater and the access to the public for use of the space.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dunn. We also have Janice Keikoa, an individual in support, not present, and Jack Law, another individual in support, not present, and Chris Lee with the University of Hawaii System, also in support. That's all I had on my testifiers list wishing to testify. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on this measure? Okay, seeing none. Vice Chair, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay, perfect. Mr. Dunn, thank you so much for being here. We're going to move on to our next measures. HR 135, HCR 141, requesting the establishment of a working group to study the feasibility of creating a Hawaii Cultural Trust to preserve and promote Hawaii's cultural resources. Up first, we have SFCA, Director Ewald, in support.
I'm on Zoom.
Oh, perfect. Go ahead.
Hi, sorry. I'm just, I apologize for not being there in person. I'm a little under the weather. Yes, Chair and Vice Chair, this is Karen Ewald, the Executive Director for the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts, and we stand on our written testimony in strong support.
Thank you so much for your testimony. We also have Daniel Naho'opi'i, Hawaii Tourism Authority, with comments.
Aloha, Chair and Vice Chair. Daniel Naho'opi'i, Interim President and CEO of the Hawaii Tourism Authority. The Hawaii Tourism Authority stands on its written comments submitted, and since this is in alignment with our mandates, particularly to ensure that Hawaiian culture practitioners and cultural sites receive the necessary support, nurturing, and engagement to sustain our visitor industry, and we appreciate having a seat at the table. Mahalo.
Thank you so much for your testimony. Thank you for being here. I also have testimony in support from the Hawaii State LGBTQ+ Commission, Michael Galoyu Jr. In support.
Good morning, Michael Beloy, Jr., Vice Chair of the Hawaii State LGBTQ Plus Commission. My pronouns are he, him. We do want to thank you for introducing this resolution. We're in strong support. The commission is in strong support of this. We do ask for one, are asking for a seat at the table though, because as we've seen, queer history has been erased from the Healer Stones in Waikiki to the Glades in Chinatown. That if we're not part of the DNA and we know this is just a feasibility study, but if our community is not part of the DNA of this endeavor, we are afraid that we will be lost as we're seeing our history be erased right in front of our eyes at the federal level. So we encourage you to pass this resolution. We do ask for that amendment. And again, thank you for hearing this, and we look forward to supporting this as it moves forward. Mahalo.
Thank you so much for your testimony. We also have testimony in support from the Stonewall Caucus of the Democratic Party. Abby Simmons, not present. That's all I have on my testifiers list. Members, are there any questions? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move on to our next measure. HR 156, HCR 161, urging the City and County of Honolulu and the County of Maui, the County of Hawaii, and the County of Kauai to establish sister city relationships with other Pacific Island municipalities. I don't think I have anyone signed up to testify. So seeing that there's no one signed up to testify and no one to ask questions of, we're going to move on to our final measure, which is HR 158, HCR 163, urging the State Foundation and Culture of the Arts to establish an annual festival celebrating the Pacific Island culture and arts. Up first, I have State Foundation on Culture and the Arts, Director Ewald, in support via Zoom.
Hi, again, Karen Ewald, State Foundation on Culture and the Arts. We do stand in strong support of this reso as well, and we were actually already planning something like this, so we're really excited about that.
Fantastic. Thank you. We also have testimony from Will Duke, an individual in support. Okay, that's all I have on the testifiers list. Members, are there any questions? I have a quick question for Director Ewald.
Yes, hello.
Hello. Considering you folks are already doing this and working on doing this, do you think that the resolution is necessary?
I think it is,
Okay.
in my personal opinion, because it shows that there's legislative support for it, you know?
Okay.
So I think that it's a necessary reso still.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for your testimony. Thank you for being here.
Good.
Okay, that's all. We're going to recess for decision making. Okay, gaveling back in for decision-making on our 9:30 a.m. agenda. We are, we're going to take HR 90, HCR 94, requesting the governor to issue a proclamation designating Hawaii as a Purple Heart State on August 7th, 2025. We're going to be passing this measure forward as is. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Sorry. Voting on HR 90 and HCR 94 as is. The chair and vice chair vote aye. Representative Garrett?
Aye.
Representative Lee?
Aye.
And Representative Sayama and Reyes Oda is excused. Your recommendation is adopted. Oh, you missed it. Too late.
Thank you, members. We are going to be voting on HR 123, HCR 127, urging the state of Hawaii to acquire Hawaii Theater to promote local culture and arts, preserve its historic and cultural significance, and facilitate its continued public use. We're going to be moving this measure forward as is. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Okay, voting on HR 123 and HCR 127 as is, with the excused absence of Representative Reyes Oda. Are there any noes? Or any with reservations? Seeing none, Chair's recommendation is adopted.
Thank you, members. We're going to be moving forward to HR 135, HCR 141, requesting the establishment of a working group to study the feasibility of creating a Hawaii Cultural Trust to preserve and promote Hawaii's cultural resources. We're going to be moving this measure forward with an amendment. We're going to be adding in HTA and a member of the LGBTQIA plus commission to ensure that they have a seat at the table in discussions on this measure. Members, are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Voting on HR 135 and HCR 141 with amendments. Knowing the excused absence of Representative Reyes Oda, any noes, any reservations? Recommendation is adopted.
Thank you, members. Moving on to HR 156, HCR 161, urging the City and County of Honolulu, the County of Maui, and the County of Hawaii, and the County of Kauai to establish sister city relationships with other Pacific Island municipalities. We are going to be moving this measure forward as is. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Okay, voting on HR 156 and HCR 161 as is. Are there any noes or with reservations? Seeing none, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you so much, members. Moving on to our final measure, HR 158, HCR 163, urging the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts to establish an annual festival celebrating Pacific Island culture and arts. We're going to be moving this measure forward with a technical amendment. We've been told that it's not necessary to provide copies of this to the President of the Senate or the Speaker of the House. So members, are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
Okay, voting on HR 158 and HCR 163 with amendments. Are there any noes or with reservations? Seeing none, recommendation is adopted.
Okay, thank you, members. We're adjourned.